What's good, listeners? Our guest on Strike a Chord from Austin, Texas is indie rock sibling duo Solo, live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show, and also check out our 7th installment of Off the Fret, More Music Talk, featuring LA pop rockers Poe the Passenger, out now on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. And we got the gentlemen here themselves, Greg and John from Solo. So, gentlemen, how's it going, fam?
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello. I like that. Hello, Paulette. Well, you know,
that was the best intro hello from any band we've ever gotten. So
yeah,
cheers.
you know, the 4 years
Cheers
that we've done this,
one.
cheers, Greg and John. We like it.
That's all I got. I'm gonna go.
Let's get it, baby. But, you know, before we even begin, I must know, what's the idea behind the band's name Solo? Because when I look up the definition for solo, it literally means one person. So was like thing 1 and thing 2 already taken as a band name? Like, what's the meaning behind Solo? Are you guys from a different quantum universe? And then you guys eventually got together? Talk to me.
These are some really hard.
And we're definitely quantum. We're short people.
Gotcha. But yeah, I know we have to always hit the tough questions right at the top of the show. So Greg and John, indulge us. Like, what the hell does solo even mean?
Well, originally I was just gonna start playing songs by myself, and John was like, "Hey, can I come?" And so it was gonna be solo project, and then he came, and it was solo.
Or maybe you guys are Han Solo's offspring.
No, I think that's really cool because, you know, when you think about like sibling duos and rock bands, I personally find it quite fascinating because they're either like celebrated or looked down upon. And, you know, I can think of artists like Oasis, AC/DC, Kings of Leon's got their brothers and one cousin. And then you think of Radiohead. So how did the two of you make this work?
We don't really.
It's kind of
a struggle.
So are you the next Radiohead then? Like you're never gonna play?
Oh my God. Yeah, well, we were kind of laughing earlier because we were listening into the podcast and we were like, we haven't played a live show yet. And we were like, man, we'll just say that this Ticketmaster thing is the reason we haven't played.
I love it. Right on it. Hey, that way you can join the lawsuit.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the whole Ticketmaster debacle? Are you guys in favor of what's going down? Do you guys like the idea of dynamic pricing? Because I know you guys are a fresh band right now in the scene, and they're claiming that this is for you, the artists, that they're doing this. Do you see this as an affordable tactic for young up and coming bands?
I didn't know anything about it until you said something about it. So
yeah, I think the closest parallel I can put on it is like Uber when ACL is going on and you can't get downtown for less than $40.
So yeah,
I know. It's like it's like the demand's hot right now to start partying on a Friday night. You know, in Austin, Texas, you're not going to be able to, you know, get an affordable ride. You're gonna have to pay double or 3 times the amount of money. Sorry. No, I think it's unfortunate.
It's actually a really good analogy if you think about it for people who don't really know what's going on. Because I mean, it's true. It's the price of demand, the surge, right? And are you willing to pay that much or sit at home?
Yeah, and Greg and John, you guys did say something that I thought is very, you know, you guys haven't toured yet. I mean, you guys haven't even played a single live show. So what is that going to look like? Are you guys looking forward to the new year to start making that happen?
Yeah, I think we're just trying to put out some music right now. And I mean, we'd be playing to our 5 friends who would come probably. And
would they come one at a time? So it'd be a solo audience?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like an artist.
God damn it, Marissa.
Come on, these are good jokes.
We already know the version of what the band name's going to be. And
we're gonna fix it. We're going to do an art installation. We're only going to play in Marfa once a year.
For one person.
For one person at a time or one party at a time.
You guys are an art gallery band. Why even call you guys bedroom pop? You guys are doing something new.
I would totally come for that.
You can see Solo at the LACMA in Los Angeles, California, and they're just one singular piece. It always moves. It never stops singing. I think you guys are onto something.
I mean,
but like, where did the passion begin to start, you know, producing and writing your guys' music?
Well, writing we've been doing for a very long time. I started playing guitar when I was 5, and John started playing drums when he was 6.
Wow.
Our dad would make us practice for like 5 hours a day, something like that.
So you guys were raised in a musical family?
Well, we were
We were
the musicians,
but
our
we didn't have
folks weren't,
any.
no.
Yeah, we had no. We had to listen to great bands like Asia and
Foreigner.
to figure out.
It's really funny that you guys are all kind of saying this, because I know that you guys describe your guys' music as, technically indie rock, but rather be known as early Tarantino. And I don't know if you guys heard what Quentin Tarantino just recently said yesterday, but he's saying that like this is the worst era of movies right now, and he compares this to the 1980s and the 1950s. Do you guys feel like that's what's happening with music today? That's why you guys are calling yourselves early Tarantino?
Oh, I don't know. I've never really put that together. I think I was watching an interview with Jacob Dylan, Bob Dylan's son. He started talking about like how his dad and the people he grew up with were kind of lucked out because there were no bad musical influences back then. They were all great. And he was
you're bringing up something that's kind of fascinating, because I heard Anthony Mackie, he's the Captain Falcon or whatever the hell he is, in the Marvel superhero universe. But he was talking about how like there's no movie stars today that people actually go for to the movie theaters, like Will Smith, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and etc. Do you guys feel like there's no real rock star to look up to today?
I still go to see him. Chris Hemsworth, homie, come on.
Well, okay, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't necessarily put Chris Hemsworth in with like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Just take off his shirt and he's good. He could just be in anything.
But do you guys feel like the era of like looking up to a rock star today is kind of swindled away?
I don't know. I think you just have more choices because you're still gonna find the people who you resonate with. Like, I mean, for me, when I really started getting into writing lyrics, I got really into and this is gonna sound very contemporary and not cool, but I got really into The National. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but
no,
I don't know. It's kind of like,
well, that's kind of the point.
It's just,
you haven't heard of them, but they're a huge band also.
But he's my huge influence rock star. I think we all have our rock stars. We all still are like, you're such a rock star, even though they're walking around stage with like a tie and a glass of wine instead of
also.
Well, that's what I like about August Burns Red. They show up on stage playing metal band, and one of the guitarists is wearing flip flops. Not necessarily the cut up skinny jeans, or some of these guys look like they're on steroids nowadays. You're like, holy shit, he definitely does not work out at the gym. He's just injecting himself with needles. But what I do find really cool about Solo is you guys bring something brand new and exciting and sort of refreshing with your guys' music. And your first single, No Sleep, is like this atmospheric banger, for a song that's under 3 minutes. And it's like a track with me personally that feels longer than what it is, because it's under 3 minutes that like you accidentally get it stuck on repeat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of those songs that I don't get mad that it's on repeat. Was that the intention to do that with that track?
Kind of. At least that's how I thought about it, for sure.
Yeah. So the strange thing about all these songs is we did a song a week for like 20 weeks, and we didn't. Man, I'm trying to put this into words. So the short songs, I don't know where I picked it up, but I'm pretty sure I picked it up. You ever heard of Nick Drake?
I'm not necessarily familiar with Nick Drake, but go ahead and indulge the rest of the CCS family who have no idea, might not know who Nick Drake is.
Oh, I'm sure that he's very popular, but he has these songs that are beautiful, and they're 1.5 2 minutes long max. His mom, actually, if you go to Spotify, you can look up his mother. She has these like ditties that are 1 minute long, and they're just repeatable, and you put it on and it's stuck in your head, and you don't get mad because it's such a short song and you want to listen to it again. And we didn't realize it, but the next song we're going to put out, I think, is going to be 1.5 minutes, and it feels like a full song. And I don't know if it's a good thing.
Well, I know radio stations are going to be loving you because you guys are not going to be producing like Tool or Metallica songs that are 7 minutes long. They'll be able to be accessible for the listening audience over the waves.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that is just kind of the ADD, reality.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, we're obviously seeing 2 TikTok stars being celebrated at the Grammys, Samara Joy and Gail, which they've obviously gotten their success because of the short, songs that they produce via social media. So I think that's very exciting. But let's go ahead and play your guys' music video. I think it's a lot of fun. I love this music a lot. And let's go ahead and play your guys' static music video, No Sleep, live on the Chris College Show, Millennial Talk Show.
never finish anything, but I can't stop starting. Can't stop starting. It's a little late for me. But save yourself. You could save yourself. It's too late for me. You could save yourself.
Yeah, that's what's good. This is Solo, and that is their music video, No Sleep. And we got the lovely gentlemen here themselves, Greg and John. And guys, I love the music. I'm telling you right now, CCS family, you're going to get that song drilled into your skull. It might be the pure graffiti to your world. I see where you guys can see where I'm going with this right now. We're going to be playing your guys' second single in a moment, Pure Graffiti. But I want to know from you guys, when you guys are working on new material, do you guys like to collaborate together when you're writing music, or do you guys have to do it completely separate when you're coming up with melodies?
Coming up with melodies is something I kind of do, but it's definitely a collaborative process. I mean, I had the whole system worked out. It was like a sort of a machine. I looked at it like a machine, and like Mondays we would start on a song that I just had tinkering around in my head, and then John would be like, no, that's terrible. And then what's the next thing you got? And I was like, nothing. I have this chord. And he was like, okay, cool. Let's make a song. And
then we'd argue for about 30 minutes.
Yeah. And I'd say, you don't appreciate anything I do. And if you think it's so easy, why don't you try?
See, you're getting exactly to the point that I'm thinking about. I mean, how do you guys equally balance your guys' music when you guys start creating these new material?
Equally balance what do you mean?
Well, I'm just saying, like, sometimes some artists feel like, 75% of the music was created by Greg and then 25% of it was John. Like, how do you guys equally get your guys' voices heard?
Yeah, no, it's all 50-50, no matter what. I can't do it without him, and he definitely can't do it without me.
No, I like that. And so, like, when you guys are producing the music, does it come with the lyrics first, or do you guys like to produce the melodies and then start to figure out how you're going to implement the lyrics into the song?
It comes first with a vibe. It kind of start with a chord and a beat, and so it kind of, for a while we start with a beat. Like for a while, John would just sit in a room, like make up 6 or 7 beats and be like, what do you think? I'd be like, right here, let's do something here. Mm-hmm. And I'd play with it, and you just get a feeling going. And I have a running note with all these ideas that I have for songs and lyrics, and you got to keep writing, I think. And
well, I think that's cool. You guys sound like you guys are very structured. And what I also thought was pretty groovy, I was reading about you gentlemen, and you guys actually didn't go through the traditional music studio. Instead, you guys recorded your brand new EP in a storage unit, which I think is pretty freaking cool. So for anybody who's doesn't, because there's a lot of young kids that feel like they got to settle with, the music studio to make their music happen in the real world. So how do you guys produce music? Did you guys want to get away from that kind of space? Was this a decision that you guys were like on, or this was the only route to create this music?
It was kind of the latter. I mean, the pandemic had just started and studios were still open, but it's a whole thing. And we were like, let's just get some microphones and start making demos. So it started with demos, and then we were like, man, this is starting to sound all right. And then, a year went by, because it takes a long time to sound good, to make something in your head and then have it come out through the speakers. Like at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what comes out of the speakers. Like, it doesn't matter where you do it, who mixed it, who mastered it. If you're loving what's coming out of the speakers, you've done your job as a musician.
So how many tracks are on this EP?
Man, it's really hard to say. We wrote 20. We really liked 12 enough to mix. And honestly, I don't know what we're gonna put out next or how many singles we're gonna do before we just go back in.
Have you guys figured out like anything that's coming up with this brand new EP? And the only reason why I'm saying that is I went all over you guys' social media accounts. I even tried to look into music publications, and I couldn't find a single thing on the EP's name. So have you guys even settled on it? Do you need Marissa and I to convene and kind of help you guys out? I mean, what's going on?
Let's do it. Yeah, we need help.
You guys, so you
Solo.
need
So it's solo by solo.
solo by solo.
Come on, that's brilliant.
We'll call the second. No, we'll call the first one. Yeah, or like 1, and the second one 2, and 3. No.
Oh, a part
No, I
1 and a
think
part
solo is
2,
better.
and then you
Solo
mash
is
it
better.
together, and then it creates an LP. It's like a baby was born.
You guys are counting us while we still have the umbilical cord. I mean, look. I mean, we are babies. We're babies.
That's right. That's right. I know one of our tracks that we really like from you guys, which is actually you guys' second single release, which is called Pure Graffiti, and we're gonna be playing that on Strike a Chord. But you guys explain this track as, quote, a song that showed what that writing, that graffiti would look like if the canvas was inside of a person's skull. So what's hidden underneath that skull? Are you guys watching too much porn? Are you guys playing too much video games? Are you thinking about someone's, lover? I mean, what's going on?
No, I mean, what do you think, man? Since I wrote that, I kind of want to see what John says about that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that philosophy.
What do you think?
Crazy.
Sounds like you sound like a lunatic. Honestly, it was kind of more like a filter. I was looking at. This is one of those things where you keep a running note on your phone and you write down ideas as you have them. And I was just walking around and I thought that like the fence for my brain is my skull. And I started thinking about. I was just walking past the bridge that had a bunch of graffiti on it, and then I started thinking about graffiti on the fence and then how that kind of felt like it was the filter through which you see everything.
Well, like when I'm thinking about you guys' song, Pure Graffiti, and you're talking about the graffiti in the skull, well, graffiti on a level is kind of permanent until you choose to scrub it away. Is that kind of what you're trying to get at? Do you want it to be interpreted by the listener? You kind of just throw that out there, and then from there you kind of want your fans to kind of be like, well, what do you think? We just kind of leave it as an open-ended book.
I definitely had a meaning behind it. I never really understood that, like, just leave it open, people will interpret how they're going to anyways, like that. I get that, but you definitely have an idea what you want a song to be about when you start it. And for me, it really was like mostly just a filter. I just thought all this paint in my head, and I just seeing the world through my own shortcomings and my own experiences. And I felt like that's my own personal graffiti inside of my skull and looking out that way.
No, I absolutely like it, gentlemen. And Greg and John, let's go ahead and play your guys' music video. So this is Solo. This song is called Pure Graffiti, live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show.
There's something inside you calling on me. Future behind you. Is this really happening? Come with me if you want to live. Be my passenger. Only see what we want to is only natural. And the fence for my city is pure graffiti. The fence for my city is pure from the last place. From the last place, I can hear you say don't leave, but it evaporates. It evaporates like something inside you falling on me. Don't think, no time to. Is this really happening? Come with me if you want to live. Be my passenger, passenger. Only see what we want to is only natural, natural. And the fence for my city is pure graffiti. The fence for my city is pure graffiti.
Yeah, that's what's good. That is Greg and John's band. They're called Solo Solo, and you can find that track. It's called Pure Graffiti. And boys, you guys have been so freaking badass. I love you guys' music. I also like that you guys kind of have an idea of making this EP a part 1 and a part 2. So whatever you guys do, I know my eyeballs will be there in the year 2023. And for anybody that wants to follow along, know how to get the scope on finding that new music, where do they go to follow you guys on social media?
Yeah, Instagram, we're Solo Solo Band, and solosoloband.com.
And when you guys planning on going on tour? Are you guys going to do this at the month of December? Are you guys planning on doing it in the new year? You guys plan to just do it in the metaverse? Talk to me. What's going on?
We're going to start in the metaverse, and then we're going to see how things go with Ticketmaster.
Preferably, is it Zuckerberg's world or is it going to be Apple's metaverse?
Love it. Love it.
We're doing the Musk meta.
Oh, yeah, because he's going to be out of a job with Twitter.
We'll be tweeting. Yeah, we'll be
So you guys will be the first artists to join him. We love you guys a lot. I'm excited for your guys' brand new music. I know the CCS family as well, and I can't thank you guys enough for joining the Chris College Show, Millennial Talk Show.